We are back on Get Up. Let me run the floor through all the action in the NBA. Last night, beginning in Dallas, Jaylen Brown had 33. Celtics beat the Mavs 110-100. Cooper Flagg had 36 in the loss. He becomes the first teenager in NBA history with 3 straight 30-point games. He's also the first rookie to average 35 points while shooting 55% from the floor over any 3-game span since Michael Jordan did it in 1985. Meanwhile, blockbuster trade in the league ahead of the deadline. Grizzlies appear to be tearing it down. They traded Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz, part of an 8-player deal. 3 first-round picks headed back to Memphis. Memphis, of course, may not be done wheeling and dealing. We'll get to the Ja Morant of it all in a minute. And then speaking of trade talk, the Warriors played last night without Steph Curry. They got blown out by the Sixers in what might have been Draymond Green's last game with Golden State. Sources telling ESPN that Draymond's name has come up in active trade conversations, putting a 14-year run with the franchise in jeopardy. Here was Draymond asked about it last night.
I think a lot of people want to know, like, how I feel about it. Like, am I upset about it? Or, like, I'm not at all. Like, I don't. If that's what's best for this organization, that's what's best for the organization. I'm not like, oh, man, they me over or something like that. Like, I don't really feel that way. Like, I've been here for 13 and a half years. I don't know that it ends at 13 and a half, but if it does, what a run it's been. I'll take the fine for it. What a run it's been. So that's just how I feel.
It's probably the right way to feel. Again, Iman Shumpert and Brian Windhorst with us. Klay Thompson not finishing his career as a Warrior. A lot of greats don't finish their careers with the teams for which they will always be remembered. Wendy, is Draymond Green about to become one of those? Is he going to get traded between now and tomorrow afternoon?
I think it's probably still, I would say, unlikely, but the Warriors feel it's enough of a situation that they came to him and let him know. And I would call this sort of a conscious uncoupling, to use modern verbiage. And Draymond is understanding of it. They don't want to surprise him. He is in the offer to the Milwaukee Bucks that is out on the table, and Draymond has taken action on himself. If he were traded, his plan would not be to remain in Milwaukee. He would want to be moved on. A team that would be possible if he were traded, and I can't emphasize the number of ifs I've said enough before I say this, but the Los Angeles Lakers would be a team he would have interest in, and they would have interest in him. But that would require the Bucks to take action on Giannis. What I think is interesting is they have now crossed the Rubicon here with Draymond Green. If he is not traded by tomorrow, it would not surprise me if these talks were revisited in the summer in the last year of his contract, whether it would be in another Giannis offer or somewhere else. And I think that's where we're getting to in this story. Okay, so understanding that there are 6 or 7 ifs along the way, Iman Shumpert, I'm still interested. You put Draymond Green on these Lakers, what do they become?
I don't know what they become right away, but I do know that Draymond Green has an underrated basketball mind. I know we get caught up in the antics, we get caught up in the funny fouls, some of the quotes after the game. But when you start talking about a big man that figured out a way to dominate the game, defensively, grabbing rebounds, and then the ability to carry the threat of being a willing passer at the 4, Draymond Green did all those things. I played against that Warriors team that seemed like such a headache, and you focused on all the other guys, but when you took out Draymond Green for that, what was that game 4 or that game 5, we got to see how much of a hole he leaves in the lineup when he's not around. So make no mistake that Draymond Green has value. Does he have it at this age? We're going to see if he goes over there to be a Laker. But I think that Draymond, just having the basketball knowledge he has and the tools and gifts that he has, it's going to be kind of exciting to see him wear a different uniform.
We know he and LeBron are longtime friends. Seen them traveling all over Europe together. That would be something to watch. All right, Wendy, let's run through a couple others. We mentioned the Memphis starting to disassemble its roster. The obvious next stop is Ja Morant. What do we expect there?
Yeah, so if you look at what they did with Desmond Bane last summer and you look at this trade, they have picked up 7 first-round picks and they've cleared over $300 million off of their books. That removes the pressure to really get any sort of meaningful return for Ja Morant, which is good because his value is not high out there. They can now shift if they want, instead of trying to trade him for value, to try to trade him and use him basically as money in a contract, but they would take on future money to get assets. This is an opportunity out there for somebody to not only buy low on Ja Morant, but also offload toxic assets as a part of getting Ja Morant. Will any team step up in the next 24 hours? That's what we're going to see. This is a player that is potentially a steal, but there's a lot of baggage that comes along with it.
For sure. There was a moment in time, Iman Shumpert, where I thought, and many thought, Ja Morant was on the verge of becoming one of the real faces of the NBA. That time feels like a very long time ago. Do you think he can recapture that? Could he wind up reclaiming whatever it is it appeared at one point he was certain to be?
Yeah, I think he does. I think the gift and the curse of the whole situation is Ja Morant's woes started off the floor. Nobody really had a problem with the spark plug of offense, the athleticism. It was just an off-the-floor thing. So I think getting him out of this situation that's run its course, if you can get him somewhere else, especially if it's in the right organization for him to learn and for him to calm down and just take a look at things from a different perspective, I think it goes right back into his development, and we see a different Ja Morant, but I hope.
You say you go Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah.
She has a chance to join today's green list, which will be the gutsiest performances in championship sports history.
I can't wait for this.
Presented in no particular order. Right off the top, show me Michael Jordan's flu game. Jeff Saturday, don't you dare speak blasphemy about Michael Jordan scoring 38 of the Bulls' 90 points in a 2-point win in the NBA Finals with massive food poisoning.
This is so dirty that you do this to me, because obviously Jordan is a Tar Heel and one of my favorites, and I love him. How are you going to compare a dude who's sick, who's got a little tummy ache, to an ACL being ruptured and the girl going down a mountain at 70 miles an hour, bro?
Jeff, a dude that needs an IV.
Yeah,
he's dehydrated.
He's going to get dehydrated, and he's comparing
Michael, if you're up watching at the Grove this morning, I apologize for these jokers over here. Tell me if you have a problem with the next one.
Okay.
Show me Kirk Gibson.
Oh, no.
Limping off the bench in the dugout and homering off Dennis Eckersley. I don't believe what I just saw. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Gibson off Eckersley, game 1 of the World Series. You got a problem with that one Saturday?
I'm going to put that one in the B category. I'm going to keep Lindsey Vonn in the A category right now.
All right.
Of toughness, of gutsiest.
One. You want another Olympian?
Let me get it.
Show me Kerry Strug.
Oh.
Show me Kerry Strug on her final vault. Barely able to stand,
Yes.
sticks it with the 1 foot and has to be carried off the mat.
Yeah, that's in, 100%. Probably all kinds of stuff torn in her leg, and she's landing on it. You would have quit well before this, Greeny. So absolutely, she is in that category with Vonn right now.
Next.
Yeah, no flu here. Okay.
Tiger Woods.
No.
2008 U.S. Open. Watch him go to his knees. Watch him go down. He needed surgery immediately after this.
This is my favorite. A Chicago Bulls fan.
He needed to make his putt to get into a playoff. That's on the 18th hole. He needed a birdie out of 2 bunkers to force a playoff with Rocco Mediate.
The adrenaline.
Could barely walk.
Yeah, he had to really fight through to make sure he could swing that club.
One more. How about T.O.?
Yeah,
definitely did.
Yes.
Definitely.
No question.
Super Bowl 39.
Yes.
9 catches, 122 yards. 49 days after fracturing his fibula and tearing a ligament at his ankle.
Yeah.
No question.
No question. 2 of 5 for you. You're 2 of 5. Right now, this one and the carry, those make it with Lindsey Vonn. The others, we appreciate the fight. To call them the gutsiest of all time.
Flu game is number 1. Tim Hasselbeck. Every time, till the end of time, whenever anyone does anything injured, you will say it was their flu game. It was their flu game.
But you know why they say that?
It's become the vernacular.
Because people like you get the flu. People like you don't go 70 miles an hour with ligaments that aren't attached to your knee.
The man
That's
had the
why
flu.
Everybody can relate.
Tim, help me.
Listen, I can't give it to a guy that had sniffles. I think you're standing across from 2 guys that played through a lot more than some sniffles. Okay?
We are denigrating the flu game on the show today. I will not have it.
He just
I
needs
know I love you, Mike.
He just needed